Hey everyone, Matt from Soundrolling.com. Thought I'd do another update because I've actually moved house. So I've got new digs to do a bit of post-production, as well as a bedroom separately. Thought I'd update you on the app. We've gone through another 70 content updates. So all sorts of stuff is changing. If you haven't downloaded the app already, you can click this link over here, or there'll be a link in the description if this is on Facebook. And yeah, so let's just run you through what's changed and what's happening and what's new with the app and why you should get it because it's free. So as you can see, this is the app. The main page now, you'll notice there's quite a lot of updates. So obviously get the most of the app, join the Facebook group and make suggestions. Let me know about problems, etc. Frequently asked questions about doing all sorts of stuff like how to do notifications. Notifications are good just for things that you're interested in, like just when I update the app. Buying or selling, event notifications in your area, or in places where we haven't yet updated the world map of frequencies that you can use. There may be suggestions for you to update it if you live in that area. So, location sound resources, we've got loads of really good ones. I still need to get my screen fixed, which may happen sometime when I'm not moving house or doing a million other things. So, boom pole cheat sheet, we've essentially got over 130 different boom poles. And they've even sorted by weight, also added sections as well, number of sections that each one has. So for instance, you're going to be able to dive in and get more information and essentially get a better boom pole for you. Frequency finder, so this is the world map where we can see different frequencies. There's also a tab to put it into list mode as well. As you can see, we've covered quite a few areas around the world so far, mainly in Europe. Because obviously that's the easiest data for me, living in the UK right here. You can always press this location button and see right where you are on the map. Or you can get list view and you can just scroll through there and get more information on local frequencies, let's say in Barcelona. And you can share this, you can get a route to any country if you need to. And with the sharing, you can share on WhatsApp or other things as well. There's also wireless frequently asked questions. So for instance, how do you turn any frequency into a US block? Well, you simply divide it by 23.671 and round it. You divide it by 25.6 and round it up or down. So check that out as well. More useful information just generally on wireless coming. Sound gear manuals. So this is for, as well as like recorders, there's also for software on your computer. There's also some timecode here as well, although I've moved that to a separate section. And yeah, it's just some mixing desks in general, just so you're able to use them. Again, let me know in the comments or description or Facebook group, etc. But you can search as well, so if I type in Zoom, then obviously the Zoom F8 comes up. So really useful as the list gets bigger. Sound gear rental companies, so this automatically, if I press it again, it'll automatically zoom into within 100 kilometers, so you can see where's close to you. So I can see in London that there's 10, and then obviously as you get closer, you can find more. Or you can search them by ones that you know, and you can see ones that just do rental, just do sales, and ones that do both. So I thought that would be really useful to break out. Sound travel advice, so this is all about battery regulations when you're flying. So a lot of different airlines there. Travel essentials, found a couple of things on Amazon that might be useful for you, including like mosquito repellent where you don't need a spray. Thought that'd be really interesting. So check that out as well. You can also sound department expendables. So this is like a PDF cheat sheet that you can send to production with what different things are for which ones you need. So simply swipe back and forth, and you can export this to your Adobe Reader or similar viewer to do even more with it. Write your own notes, add some extra stuff. On-set advice, frequently asked questions such as like a long versus short shotgun mic. Just a bit of more info there to help you people starting out on location. Microphone questions as well. So like what's a condenser mic, what's a carbon mic? Kind of integrating that into a later section that I'll show you later. Foley, we have a cheat sheet of over 200 different things that you can use to create Foley effects, which are going to be useful. So, for instance, for slime, squash pasta with your hands or squirt it out of a rubber glove. So get a load of pasta in a rubber glove and squeeze it out, and that's going to be a slimy. Foley frequently asked questions, so I have quite a few here that I've started collecting, but do let me know any more than that you have, because that's just going to be a really fun section to build up. Someone actually gave me their thesis that they wrote, so Josh here in 2015 wrote about approaches and techniques for Foley walking. So this is a 15-page document to help you essentially walk with better Foley. And we have the sound chats with the two Foley artists that I've worked with, or not worked with, but done a sound chat with. John Simpson, who did Lord of the Rings and a million other things. So that's there, which is awesome. Wait for it to load. I don't really have good internet at the moment. Moving house. Post-production help. Now this is really useful because you can send this to editors, directors, self-shooters, deliverables for post. So for instance, keeping audio file names in Premiere Pro AAFs. There's a hack for that because there's a glitch at the moment where it names the audio files the same as the video files, so messing things up. And what audio editors should deliver if you want to use things like EdiLoad, which means that if you make a cut, you can automatically conform and essentially keep everything in sync automatically without you having to reshuffle everything. Exporting and importing. This is for exporting AAFs and OMFs from various different software into what is usually going to be Pro Tools, but obviously an AAF or an OMF will work anywhere. And what else do we have? Recovering corrupt and formatted cards. So there's a section, I did a whole video on this as well, just how to use disk drill, which is what I used. And we have Reaper tips, we have painting out a boom, this is how you do it, and there's other references from around the sound community. Mainly Sam Cousins was able to put together a load of stuff regarding different major productions, both in TV in terms of House of Cards and movies, and Sound of Gone Girl, for instance. And I've done a video on that as well, excuse me, for how you do that in Premiere Pro. Also, we have like a record time calculator, so you can calculate how much space you're going to take up, convolution reverb and how that works, file formats, so what's the difference between all the different formats for lossless and lossy formats in terms of size. So what's going to be a good format for your sound to go into that's going to keep the size quite low but the quality quite high, or vice versa. We have NTC, PAL and CCAM, and just understanding those different things of 24, 25 and 30 frames. And then we also go into, so done post-production help, sound events. Now this is a really cool section because people are being really helpful and responsive in terms of just submitting events in their own country around the world. So for instance, on the 31st of August, if you're in Bristol in the UK, then you can go to the AMPS Bristol Social, and there'll be a further link of how to get there, etc., etc. So you can save the event, you can share it, you can show the route. And if you go to, for instance, Amsterdam, if you're going to IBC, it's going to be another great event for sound people and just tech in general. So that's where it is. You can save the event, you can show the route once you get there, so you can go to the exact location. And there's more information on websites, etc., etc. So we've got quite a few things. Some things have obviously already passed so far, because we've only just kind of started this, but they go all the way up to November at the moment. So if you do have any events, do let me know in the comments, or ideally send me an email. You can do it through the app. Just submit a new event, and it'll give you all the right information to fill out in terms of sending me an email. Buy and sell secondhand gear. I thought it might be useful that even if you list your gear elsewhere, you could easily list it on the app. More people can see it, go to your thing, and it's free to list. So we've had one person list at the moment. So you can see that there's a MKH60 going. It gives you a link, or you can just independently host on here for free and see who gets it. So there's obviously like email contact information, who they're willing to ship to, and there's no kind of payment through this, but it's just to kind of link people up. Because the Facebook groups do get a bit crowded and it gets a bit confusing what's taken and what isn't. So just thought that would be useful as well. Other resources, we have obviously the sound chats, and this is over 40 interviews I've done with different sound professionals loads of people. I don't know. Mark Weingarten, who did Interstellar, all sorts. I mean, yeah, let's see if the videos load. Matthew Price, ironically, who did, what's it called? Sopranos. We have the infamous Jeff Wexler. And we have all sorts of people. So there's videos for quite a lot of them, for about 25 of them probably. And then there's written ones, but I've also done a podcast version of all the video ones as well. So you can get that on iTunes or any Android player that will play podcasts. Then there's just YouTube in general. So this is where obviously the videos will come up that you're watching right now. Sound trivia, which is just a bit of fun, like does it ducks quack echo? The most iconic scream, what does Morgan Freeman sound like on helium? We have wiring diagrams that I'm starting out, such as 4-pin LEMO for a red epic or scarlet. So it should magically pop up soon as an image. But again, the internet's quite slow here because I've just moved in and they need to connect me properly. Then we have on-set jokes and banter just to, I don't know, lighten the mood a little bit. So what's the difference between a documentary filmmaker and a large pizza? A large pizza can feed a family of 4. Again, not in the best taste of jokes, but you know, it's on-set kind of banter, fun. So you'll always have something witty to say, I guess, if someone starts slugging you off in your department or anyone else's. Weird animal sounds. Have you ever heard what a fox actually sounds like, or a giraffe? Then you can find out here. Then we go on to the Sound Bootcamp, which is essentially what I'm starting, which is going to be a massive index, as well as a pocket dictionary of over 200 different words and kind of phrases that you should kind of know, that you can easily kind of select and go into. So a joule, for instance, is a standard unit of energy in electronics. So yeah, that's just really handy to know. Let's start it up again, and then I've just completed my first section on waves, although I need to update this section. Just updated it today to complete this first chapter so you understand everything from how a wave is made into the signal management and kind of measurement of sound. So that kind of completes the little tutorial for now of version 1.117. That means there's been 117 content updates, soon to be 118. So, over 2,000 of you have downloaded the app so far in, 2-3 weeks? Which is pretty amazing. Hopefully get even more people, so feel free to share it up if you already have the app, or leave me a comment below of how much you're enjoying it. I think we've got good 5-star ratings on most sites, which is pretty good. So, obviously, a lot of time to still invest in updating it, but more than happy to obviously have your help with that as well. So, if you haven't already, you can obviously download the app or in the description, and you can obviously subscribe to this channel as well. And like this video, more people will find it as well, which is always useful. So, until next time, when I will be introducing more new sections to the app, such as how to radio mic people in different ways, stay tuned, and I'll see you later.